Let's do some labs. AZ-104, implement virtual networking. Architecture diagram, we'll have to create two VNets, and each of them will have two subnets. Let's go straight to Azure portal. VNets, virtual networks. Let's start and create the first virtual network, which will have the name Core Services VNet. We'll need to create a resource group according to the lab. Okay. From here we can go further. Don't need any of that. IP address. We have to modify the IP address right here. In the second octet we wanna put 20 instead of 0. Subnet mask can stay. From here we will need to add two subnets and eventually delete the default one. Let's start adding subnets. Purpose, you can leave it as default. Sometimes Azure corrects you and requires you to choose any of that, but in our case we're fine. The first subnet should be called shared services subnet, and IP range, starting address. According to the lab, the third octet requires 10. Subnet mask is fine. Leave everything else on a default. Add another subnet. Remember, we had two subnets in each virtual VNet. The name of the second subnet is database subnet. We'll have to modify the starting IP address a little. Actually, it's 20 here, but it should be 10 at the... Oh, 10, I'm good there. Okay. 20 here, 10, 20, 20. Okay. That's all was required. Let me double check really quick. 10, 20, 10, good. 10, 20, 20, perfect. Okay, at this point we can delete the default. Review and create. Let it validate, synchronize, and for the task 1, step 11, we'll have to go to automation and export a template JSON file for the whole virtual network, as we're gonna create the virtual network number 2 in the task 2 based off that JSON file. We just have to modify a few things. Let's press create. Give it a minute to deploy. Still in progress. Let's go to the resource, not to the resource group because automation is right here. Export template. All we have to do is press download right here when it's not grayed out anymore. So that's our beautiful JSON file. Download. Let's place it somewhere where we are familiar with. Looks good here, so we'll want to modify that. From here we can go, actually, there's nothing else to say. We can go back to virtual networks. Just leave it here for now. What we need to is to modify the JSON file that we just downloaded. According to the lab, you have multiple options, any editor of your choice. since for that course I've used Visual Studio Code before when I played with ARM templates, so it's just convenient and open source. So you don't want to press new file, we have to press open file and locate our template JSON, and we can start modifying it. So task 2, step, make changes for the manufacturing VNet virtual network. We want to replace all occurrences of core services VNet with manufacturing VNet. So what I suggest to do is to press Ctrl F and locate every instances of what we're looking for and start replacing it with manufacturing VNet. Okay, 6 to go. We had 9 to begin with. Doing it that way, it helps you not to miss anything. We're down to the to 2, so 2 more. 1, 2. Okay, no more results for core services VNet. Now we have to locate 10.20.0.0, the only instance of that, and we want to modify the second octet to 30. Good. Make changes for the manufacturing VNet subnets. Let's locate that. 3 instances. We have to replace each of them with sensor subnet 1. The last one is here. No extra spaces, no extra letters, extra characters. Keep it simple, just word to word replacement. Change all occurrences of that to 30.20. Okay, it's easier to copy paste. So 10.30.20.0.24. Good. Perfect. Change all occurrences of database subnet with sensor subnet 2. So we're working on creating a subnet 2 for the virtual network number 2. One more instance right here. Okay. Actually, one more here. Okay. Change all occurrences of that to occurrences. For 30.21. Okay. Read back through the file. Let's visually inspect it really quick. So we should have everything set up for the virtual network too. Okay, looks okay. At this point we can save. Save, and let's close it. And let's test it. Open it again if it was saved properly. We want to see sensor subnet 2, for example. subnet 1 and subnet 2. Okay, let's copy that also. Okay, yeah, that's exactly what we saved. At this point, we can close Visual Studio for good. And that's the template JSON that we need. So according to the lab, we should have gotten a zip file when we downloaded the previous JSON file, the template JSON, but now they want us to modify a parameters file. So you can actually go and download it separately from the same export template section. So we downloaded the template, but now we need to download parameters too and modify that as well. So go here and press download. Push these parameters here. Let's open it. And only a few things that we have to modify. You're still in task 2, by the way. Parameters JSON. And all we have to modify is core services VNet. We have to replace it with manufacturing VNet. Yep, only 2 corrections. Save, close Visual Code Studio. Just want to double check if it was saved properly. Manufacturing VNet, perfect. Now we have to deploy the custom template. So to deploy it, we want to look it up. Choose that. Build your own template with an editor. With the editor, yes. Load a file. Press load a file and select the parameters JSON. Actually select template JSON. Open. We double check template. If it starts with the same thing, schema type string. Schema type string, yeah. Okay, looks good. Save. At this point we can press review and create. There's nothing else to change. Yeah. Actually from here we want to go back and edit that as well by loading a file that we just modified. Parameters JSON. Save. Okay, now we're good. We have custom template, custom parameters. Okay, now we're good for sure. Create. Let's go to the resource group and test what we have here. So the manufacturing VNet is not uploaded yet, but let's give it a quick refresh and here we are. Let's check what we have inside really quick. 2 subnets, our IPs and two subnets different IPs. That's all task 2 wanted from us. So in task 3, we'll have to create and configure communication between an application security group and a network security group. We'll have to create the application security group. So let's go to that menu and start creating them. Application security groups, not regular groups, security groups. Let's click create. Keep that subscription, choose the resource group that we've been working on, that we have created earlier. And that's the name that they want us to pick. Review and create. Validation passed. Create. Let's deploy it really quickly. Network security groups. So the next step will be create the network security group and associate it with core services VNet. Let's look it up. Let's go there. Same thing, create. Keep the subscription, keep the resource group the same. And that's the name that we have. Review and create. Let's create and deploy it. They want us to go to resource in the step 3. Under settings, click subnets and then associate. Settings, subnets, associate. And we want to associate it with that's good, that's good. Okay, we can click OK. Show me something. Okay, yeah, that's what we wanted to see. Next, configure an inbound security rule to allow ASG traffic, application security group traffic. Continue working with your NSG. In the settings area, select inbound security rules. Inbound security rules. Review the default inbound rules. Notice that only other virtual networks and load balancers are allowed to access. Select add. On the inbound security rule blade, use the following information. Source, application security group. ASG web. Asterisk, any destination port ranges. We want to modify it a little for HTTP and HTTPS traffic. Here, TCP. Allow priority 100. Remember, the lower number of the priority, the highest it is on a priority list with Azure. And name, allow ASG, application security group. Description, you need nothing there. At this point we can add that rule, and we'll have to come up with another rule for outbound communication. Let's verify if it went through. Okay, add source, in this case any destination service tag. Interesting. So we can keep service at custom for port ranges, any, protocol any, action deny, priority not super high in a priority list, but that's what they want us to do. Name here. Let's press add. So that's what is all about that for that group. Security roles, outbound roles. Okay, task 3 is done. Let's go to task 4, configure public and private Azure DNS zones. So let's go to DNS zones. Create, same. The name that we want is so here we want to name our DNS zone, instant details. Let's make it more fun. I'll just call it moshcyber.com. Default region is fine. Preview and create. So let's wait for the DNS zone to deploy and then select go to resource. Oh, we have to press the create first. Validation was done. Now deployment. There's no resource yet, but there is one now. Go to resource. On the overview blade, notice the names of the 4 Azure DNS name servers. Overview 4 DNS servers 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Copy one of the name server addresses. For example, that one. We'll need it in the future step. Okay, it's copied. Expand DNS management. Let's select the record sets. Press add. For the name we want www, type A for IPv4, time to leave 1, IP address. Note, in a real-world scenario, you'd enter the public IP address of your web server. Okay. And from here, they want us to open the console, which is here, console, Bash or PowerShell. So it doesn't matter really. Bash. Why is it asking me so much? PowerShell. Yeah, let's just follow through with Bash. looks like we cannot do that step for whatever reasons. Network profile, we don't have a network profile or what? Yeah, all we had to do here is to do NS lookup and verify if DNS works, but let's assume it works. Let's go further, configure a private DNS zone. In the portal, search private DNS zones. Here we want to be in basics. We can keep that here. That part is kind of important since we want a private DNS zone. So let's call it private moshcyber.com. The place taker should be whatever you came up with. The lab wants us to have Cantoso in the name, but in my case it is that. Review and create. Validation, creation, deploy and then go to resource. Let it deploy and go to resource. Okay, give me that pop-up. Okay, it's almost deployed. Okay, from here we want to go to resource. Notice the overview blade. There are no name server records. Notice on the overview blade there is no name server records. There's a record set. I'm just curious what is there. Oh, okay. Anyway, where we want to go is DNS management, virtual network links, and I believe here we have to link them. Configure the link. Yeah, so from this menu we want to create a couple of network links. One for each. Leave that unchecked. Let's wait till that one creates before we go to the next one. It's not done, it's still loading. Yeah, takes a second. Okay, let's create another one. Yeah, actually, so all we need is one network link. Now we can go to record sets, and so here we'll have to create a small private DNS zone record set. That's the name. Type 8 until 1. That doesn't matter. And IP address. That. Yeah, so here it is.